CISSP Objective 2.2 Establish Information and Asset Handling Requirements. I am Cio Rodriguez. If you find this content useful, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Objective 2.2 Establish Information and Asset Handling Requirements presents a circular process highlighting 6 essential stages in secure asset management. It begins with classification, where information is categorized based on sensitivity and value. Next is storage, ensuring data is securely kept with encryption and restricted access. Transmission emphasizes the use of secure channels to protect data in transit. Access enforces least privilege and proper authorization for handling assets. Labeling provides clear identification of classification and handling rules. And finally, retention and disposal ensures data is kept only as needed and securely destroyed when no longer required. We first need to define how assets are stored, transmitted, accessed, and destroyed to ensure consistency and security. Handling rules must match the asset's classification, whether it's public, internal, or highly confidential. Finally, these measures protect confidentiality, integrity, and availability while ensuring compliance with regulatory and organizational requirements. When we talk about handling requirements, there are 4 major areas to focus on. The first is classification, which sets the foundation by identifying whether data is public, internal, confidential, or restricted. This classification determines the level of protection required. Next is secure storage. Confidential assets should not be left on unencrypted laptops or in unlocked rooms, but instead should be protected with encryption, strong access controls, and proper monitoring. The third area is secure transmission. Data in transit should never be sent over open or insecure channels. Instead, it should be transmitted using secure protocols like TLS, HTTPS, VPNs, or encrypted email. The final area is access and sharing. This means enforcing the principle of least privilege, giving people only the access they need to perform their jobs, and regularly reviewing access rights. Sharing must also be clearly controlled to prevent unauthorized disclosures, especially when dealing with third parties. Labeling and marking may seem like simple steps, but they play a critical role in making handling requirements visible to everyone in the organization. For digital data, classification labels such as confidential or internal use only should be clearly displayed so that users immediately know the level of sensitivity and the precautions they must take. For physical assets such as laptops, external hard drives, or even paper documents, labels and asset tags reinforce accountability. Marking also ensure consistency. For example, if one person marks data as confidential and another fails to do that, then it creates confusion and increases the chance of mistakes. Clear standardized labels guide employees in day-to-day operations, reducing the risk of accidental mishandling or disclosure. Information and assets should never be kept indefinitely. Retention policies define how long data must be stored to meet business, legal, or regulatory requirements. Holding data longer than necessary creates unnecessary risk as it increases the chances of exposure in the event of a breach. Proper disposal is equally important. At the end of an asset's life cycle, it should be destroyed in a way that prevents recovery. For physical documents, this could mean shredding. For digital media, this could mean securing wiping, or rather secure wiping, degaussing, or physically destroying the storage device. Without secure disposal, sensitive information could be recovered by unauthorized parties, putting the organization at risk of breaches, fines, and reputational damage. Retention and disposal requirements are essential for maintaining compliance and minimizing risk exposure. Even the best policies are meaningless if employees don't know how to apply them. Training and awareness are critical to ensuring that the staff understand and follow handling requirements. Training should cover not only the rules but also the reasons behind them. When employees understand the risk and consequences of mishandling data, they are more likely to comply. Awareness campaigns such as posters, newsletters, or phishing simulations reinforce these principles on a regular basis. Real world examples help staff recognize situations where handling requirements apply, such as sending sensitive documents over email or disposing of old equipment uh, in the environment. Periodic refresher training ensures that these requirements stay fresh in employees' minds. Ultimately, the goal is to create a culture of accountability where everyone sees themselves as responsible for protecting organizational assets. Here is a worst case scenario that highlights the importance of what we just discussed. In July 2025, Alliance Life Insurance Company of North America confirmed a major data breach impacting about 1.4 million US customers. The incident occurred through a third-party cloud platform compromised via social engineering. Rather than Alliance's internal systems, exposed data included personal information of customers, financial professionals, and employees. Alliance immediately contained the breach, notified the FBI, and offered 24 months of incident theft and credit monitoring service to affected individuals. This case demonstrates the importance of establishing and enforcing strict asset handling requirements with vendors, ensuring secure storage, transmission, access control, and compliance across all external systems. In summary, establishing handling requirements is about ensuring that assets are consistently protected across their entire life cycle. We started with classification, which defines the sensitivity of the asset. Then we looked at storage, transmission, and access controls, which protect data in different states. Labeling makes requirements visible, while retention and disposal prevent unnecessary risk at the end of an asset's life. Finally, training and awareness ensure that employees understand their responsibilities and apply the rules correctly. Together, these handling requirements protect the confidentiality, integrity, and availability of assets, ensure compliance with legal and regulatory obligations, and reduce the likelihood of costly data breaches or security incidents.